Welcome back, treasure hunters and history buffs. If you've been following the curse of Oak Island from the beginning, or even just this wild ride of Season 12, you'll know we're knee-deep in one of the most thrilling seasons yet. But hold on to your shovels, because Episode 20, titled, Just Beat It, might just drop the biggest bombshell we've seen in years. And no, we're not talking about gold coins or chests brimming with jewels. This time, it's something much smaller. A bead. Yep, a tiny bead. But before you scoff and scroll away, let me tell you, this could be the clue that finally connects the island's long-buried secrets to ancient civilizations and lost worlds. In this article, we're breaking down everything we know so far about this highly anticipated episode, analyzing trailer clips, revealing tantalizing spoilers, and digging into the deeper implications of what this small artifact could mean. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's explore what Just Beat It might really be revealing beneath the surface of Oak Island. In true Oak Island fashion, Episode 20 starts with a mystery so small you could miss it at first glance, a bead. But unlike previous red herrings, this bead isn't just a curious trinket, it's setting off alarm bells among the team. Found in the dirt-covered depths of one of the island's many excavation sites, this tiny artifact is already stirring up huge theories. Could it be linked to ancient explorers? A ceremonial object from a long-lost culture? Or perhaps even a trade item passed between civilizations long before Europeans ever landed on Nova Scotia's shores? Now here's where things get really interesting. According to previews and early leaks, the bead is unlike anything the team has ever found. It doesn't match known colonial items. It doesn't resemble anything from typical pirate lore. Instead, it might hint at something far older, and potentially far more exotic. One of the standout moments teased in the trailer is the team's historian poring over ancient documents and old-world symbols, many of which eerily resemble markings found on or near the bead. Viewers with sharp eyes have spotted potential connections to Mesopotamian beadwork, Phoenician trade artifacts, and even First Nations ceremonial objects. So now we're talking real depth. If the bead was truly from an ancient civilization, this changes everything. It suggests that Oak Island may have been visited, or even used, by cultures we never even considered before. And while it's too early to draw conclusions, you know the team's gears are grinding hard on this one. This isn't just about treasure anymore. This is about rewriting the history of who touched this island and why. Throughout this season, the narrative has flirted with different possibilities: Knights Templar, pirates, the British military, and even French naval expeditions. But this bead might point to an entirely new theory. Episode 20 suggests that Oak Island wasn't just a random place chosen to hide valuables, it may have been chosen intentionally because of its geographical, spiritual, or symbolic significance. And now, with this bead in their hands, the team starts connecting dots they couldn't quite see before. There's a real sense of urgency in the tone of this episode, voices get louder, tempers flare, and the digging gets deeper. But beneath all that, there's a shared feeling among the Legina brothers and the crew: they're close. Closer than they've ever been. Could the bead be the first physical evidence of the people who actually orchestrated the money pit and its traps? Could it be a calling card from a group far more advanced than anyone ever imagined? While the bead is the star of the show, it's not the only thing happening in Episode 20. The team returns to the money pit with renewed purpose, and what they find next adds even more fuel to the fire. According to early footage and voiceover hints, they strike something unusual underground. No, not gold, yet, but rather another unnatural structure. Could it be part of the original booby-trapped vault? Or maybe a new chamber that had gone undiscovered until now? The energy among the crew skyrockets as they analyze the material and shape of the obstruction. One thing's for sure, it's not just another log platform. Rick Legina's words in the teaser say it all: we've been digging for answers for over a decade. This could be the first piece that actually gives us one. Here's where things start leaning toward the legendary. Episode 20 doesn't just focus on physical finds, it dives deep into symbolism. The bead, some believe, bears markings that resemble those found in old manuscripts tied to secret societies, possibly even the Rosicrucians or Templars. It's speculative, of course, but the History Channel isn't shying away from that possibility. Pair that with the fact that Oak Island has a long, documented history of strange symbols, from the infamous 90-foot stone to carved rocks and even underwater formations, and suddenly that little bead starts feeling very important. Could it be that the bead was left behind intentionally? A breadcrumb? A message? And if so, who was it meant for? What makes this episode so intense isn't just the discoveries, it's the emotional stakes. Marty Lagina, normally the more skeptical of the two brothers, seems visibly shaken by the implications of the find. You can see it in his body language. This isn't just another dig. This might be what they've been chasing all along. Meanwhile, archaeologist Laird Niven is seen carefully documenting every detail, likely calling in experts for analysis. And let's not forget Gary Drayton, metal detector in hand, ready to find the next piece of the puzzle. The vibe is electric. Something big is about to break, and everyone knows it. And here's the kicker: according to teaser footage, the episode ends on a cliffhanger. As they prepare to lower equipment for deeper exploration, alarms go off. Something metallic. Something dense. Could it be the vault? Could it be a container? Could it even be the treasure? Every season of The Curse of Oak Island has its turning points, moments that change the way we look at the entire mystery. And episode 20 might just be one of those milestones. Not because of a massive treasure chest, but because of a bead. A bead. It's poetic, really. After decades of hauling up debris, wood, scrap metal, and false leads, it's one of the smallest objects that might hold the biggest answers. So, what should we expect next? Experts weighing in. Lab results. Maybe even a trip to a museum for comparison. And of course, more digging, both into the earth and the past. This tiny artifact might force us to revisit everything we thought we knew about Oak Island. Was it an ancient civilization? Secretive explorers? A ceremonial site of some lost order? Whatever the answer is, one thing's for certain: it's going to make history. As viewers, we often focus on the big finds, vaults, gold hints, or artifacts engraved with symbols. But in Just Beat It, the real message might be that the treasure of Oak Island isn't just material wealth, but knowledge. A single bead, overlooked by less seasoned searchers, could represent a connection point between global civilizations. What if the bead wasn't left behind by accident? What if it was planted as a clue, intentionally hidden as part of a grand design to protect an ancient truth or sacred site? The implications stretch far beyond Nova Scotia. If the bead links to cultures like the Phoenicians, Egyptians, or even Mesoamerican explorers, then Oak Island becomes more than a localized mystery. It becomes a piece of a global puzzle, a crossroad of explorers, wisdom keepers, and secret societies. The island's mystery could be part of a much older narrative involving ancient navigation, sacred geometry, and the preservation of forbidden knowledge. This theory gains credibility as the team matches the bead's composition and design with historical artifacts from across the globe. It's not just about what was found, it's about where else in the world similar items have appeared. In the episode, we see the researchers light up with excitement, tracing connections across centuries and continents. This is where the show shines, transforming from a treasure hunt into a historical detective saga that pulls viewers into a much larger adventure. We also see a more emotional side to the team in this episode. Rick and Marty, after years of frustration, seem to find a renewed sense of purpose. The tiny bead is not only proof they're still on the right path, it's a symbol of perseverance. Through countless setbacks, false hopes, and brutal weather conditions, they've stayed committed. And now, something small but significant is rewarding that faith. What's especially powerful about Just Beat It is how it captures the essence of the Oak Island mystery itself, the idea that everything matters. Every rock moved, every artifact unearthed, every clue, even the tiniest, can be the beginning of a revelation. The team's meticulous approach, combining old-school grit with cutting-edge tech and deep historical research, reminds us that great discoveries are often born from patient, persistent effort. As the episode closes, with machinery poised to dig deeper and the team's eyes locked on the horizon, one thing becomes clear: this is more than just another dig. It's a moment of convergence. And whether or not the bead leads directly to treasure, it's already leading us to new truths, truths buried not just in the earth, but in the stories we've forgotten, the connections we've overlooked, and the courage it takes to keep asking questions. Because on Oak Island, even a bead can break the case wide open.